Welcome, everybody, to episode 157 of Perpetual Backlog. I'm your host, Aqua, and joining me, like always, is Dalit
Hey, it's me.
and Leek. She's back this week.
I'm back.
Hey, woo! It was a sausage fest last week.
It was.
Yeah. Well, remember, if you know how YouTube works, we enjoy likes and subscribes, to everybody's extent, and yeah, please do that. All right, so I did play Grand Blue Fantasy Relink this week, the demo.
Stunning.
Yeah, I know, right? How super surprising is that? They have S ranked everybody, S plus everybody except for EO and Gandagoza. Probably because I'm never going to do it on Gandagoza.
He looks really strong and really interesting, but he is no way, shape, or form anywhere near my aesthetic, so I'm probably never picking him up. Or at least picking him up last.
Yep. Outside of that, I played another game, but we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. Leek, what did you play this week?
I played lots and lots of Monster Hunter. I'm in Iceborne now. Hooray!
Let's go.
Hey, yo.
I also started GTA RP.
Oh, God.
You know, there is something about this that I just cannot find surprising.
Yeah, I know, right?
So...
It was a matter of time.
Oh my
what
god.
kind of criminal are you?
I'm not a criminal. I'm just an everyday civilian. The one I'm on, it's Onks, is the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Onks GG. There's quite a few people, streamers and stuff that are on it as well. But a lot of it is actually civilians doing shit, not just cops and robbers. So it's very interesting in that regard. You got some regular weirdos.
I bet.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. At the moment, they're doing like candidate stuff. So there's like votes and the ballot's gone out, and there's lots of drama and news drama. It's ridiculous. They had like some of it's a bit too close to life, but it's such a big caricature of it all. It's more entertaining than disturbing.
Leek enters the dystopian world of Los Santos.
Yep. Oh, it's so silly. Yeah, if you look up hashtag onks or tag onks on ONX on
I was about to say, please spell that
Twitch.
for me.
ONX on Twitch, you'll see lots of different people. Oh god.
I will give that a look, yeah, for sure.
No, it's ridiculous. There are criminals, obviously, and there are hooligans and cops chasing them and stuff. One stupid moment, because there's obviously the absolute ridiculous moments too. There's a fast food chain called Cluck and Bell, and my character was just there, getting some food, and there was a kerfuffle outside, and someone had a disagreement with the staff, punched the district manager, started running down the street, and I hear the district manager in a thick a New York accent go get him, Donatello. And then the moment later, I see someone dressed as Donatello the turtle running down the street.
That is spectacular.
Oh, it was so stupid.
I don't know.
That was just my first day.
I've never really watched anybody do GTA RP, but I'm just like sitting here like, man, I don't even know if I want to watch anybody do GTA RP.
I thought that first. I really did, because it is usually just cops and robbers and stuff, people living out their fantasies in that sense, right?
I know some degenerate shit goes on that.
Yeah, but this at least this server, that I'm role playing on is very good with having strict community rules in that regard.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. So they're like there's no they're very 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 particular who they choose and whitelist. So far
no
it's
ERP.
a good. They banned that too, but there have been instances I've seen on other people's streams where they mock do it, like very silly, ridiculous. They roll a dice and see what the outcome is, type of thing.
Roll a dice.
Yeah. But they banned all the absolute
You rolled a
degenerate
1.
stuff.
It's too dark. You couldn't find your way in.
Yeah. So it's more comedic, always comedic stuff happening.
Cool,
No,
cool,
that's
cool,
hilarious.
Cool.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like
That's
Dawn,
what
I'm
I
like,
was
it was
doing.
only a matter of time.
I very nearly joined Red Dead RP.
Yeah, that's why it's like it's
Actually,
only a
hold
matter
on.
of time.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, of the two, I would definitely suspect you on Red Dead before GTA. Now
Yeah,
that
I
you've said the
do.
words out loud.
I really like riding the horsey in Red Dead 2. It's really good.
Giddy up, little pony.
Yeah. I might very well do in the future, you know. But who knows? Anyway, that's what I was doing, the shenanigans.
All right, so
I
Dalit.
didn't get up to a whole lot that we won't cover very soon. I played a lot of Pro Tools, but aside from work, I did make a bit of time to do some Grand Blue Rising. I played with Deanne Coated, and that's it. Because the other thing that I did is literally the crux of this show.
Yeah. So, have you ever heard of a game where there's Pokemon and then there's guns?
No,
Which is
I've missed this.
so weird. Which is so weird because guns aren't actually even like any part of the crux of that video game.
I agree with you. That's what I've been saying.
There's like
I found it.
There's like barely like you have to get so far in like leveling to even get to like guns. You get a musket at like 21, I think. But then you also have to have the ingots to fucking make.
I feel like I could actually get there in like 4 hours. I could have a gun in 4 hours.
Yeah. So the topic of the show is obviously going to be the crazy trend that is going right now, which is Palworld. That game that we all thought was a joke like 2 years ago, and then a year ago when they came out with another trailer, and then we were like, that this game will never come out. Yeah, that game came out.
I want to point something out to the people who listen. This group of people, Aqua, myself, and League, were literally approached to and spoken to by the developers of this game, and we still didn't take it seriously.
Yeah, we were like...
They were out here leaving comments on this podcast, and we were like, yeah, Palworld, it looks like something that's happening. I'm sure it'll be whatever.
Actually, I mean, the first time I saw Palworld, I was like, all right, this looks insane. I kind of want to play this.
Yeah.
But yeah, early access for Palworld released like 5 days ago. And man, has it taken the gaming world by a storm of good and a storm of bad.
Yes.
Quite the
it split the gaming world in two.
Yeah, it is.
It
very
split individual people into.
Yeah, it's an extremely polarizing game. I don't even know where to start from this. Dalit and I have been playing it this entire week, actually. Because
as a
we have
disclosure,
to get...
I personally have not played it, so refer to
Yeah.
the guys who have.
we have to get our Palworld playing out of the way because Relink comes up in like 7 days.
True.
So, I don't even know where to start with this. Yeah, I don't even know where to start with. Do we want to do like what we enjoy from this game?
Maybe
Do you
just
want to
break
do
it
like
down. Explain what Palworld is, what the genre is, and so on, just in case someone doesn't know.
yeah.
And then your experience, and then you can move on to the controversy that is attached to it.
So if you guys ever played Ark, this is exactly what Palworld is. It is Ark. The gameplay is almost exactly like Ark. Minus the fact that there are these pals, these cute and actually mainly cute monsters running around the world, and you capture them. And like Pokemon, because it's like also it's Arc Pokemon is what it is. It's Arc Pokemon. That is I don't know how to get around it. It's literally Arc Pokemon. But the progression system is exactly like Arc, and I personally think this game is insanely fun for what it is. Despite there being a lot of controversies behind it. Got it? I'm looking up.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail. I think you hit the nail on the head. This is absolutely Ark, only instead of dinosaurs, there's Pokemon, and those Pokemon do actual work. I could call them monsters. I'm gonna slip up and call them Pokemon. They're Pokemon.
Yeah. So when
Yeah.
I saw this game a while back advertised and teased, it was interesting because it presented itself as a sort of satire to Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great. Parodies and satires have their place and they're fun to interact with. And you'd see in the teaser trailer, like Pokemon-like monsters, um, doing factory work, being used to use guns. It's basically
Correct.
Pokemon
Yes.
with guns as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that kind of thing that Nintendo would never do.
No, they would never.
They would
They
never
could
do.
never.
Yeah. So that was an interesting take, and everybody was excited about this sort of idea. And I was,
Yeah, but I think
yeah.
that first glimpse you got, we referenced this earlier, was super misleading, and I'm genuinely, I guess I'm not too surprised. That's the way they went around it, right? Because that's going to garner a whole lot of views, whether people like it or not. Like comparing yourself to Pokemon, brilliant in terms of advertisements. But that's very much not this scaling. This is a survival game first and foremost, and going into the actual gameplay of it, this game's rock solid. I know I've heard just today a couple of pretty awful bugs.
Yeah.
And I haven't had as much time as I would like with it, but my time in the game has been so rock solid. I have twice now forgotten this is early access. This has launched in a way that is more stable for me than many AAA games of the last 10 years.
Yeah. And it's good because the dev team, we'll talk about them a little bit too. They've
Yeah.
had they started off with like 10 people, right? And they were all new to the
Untrained.
industry.
Yeah.
They learned on the job. They were learning. They tried, I think, Unity first, then went to Unreal and learned that from scratch.
Correct.
Yeah, one person I think knew it. So yeah, they were learning on the job, learning as they did. And like it's like everyone's dream, trying to make a video game, and then seeing what you can do and pushing it and pushing it.
And then the next dream of getting that video game in 5 days to sell 5 million copies. Pretty great.
That's
but yeah, no,
6
like,
million now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a lot of negative things to say about this game, but unfortunately, they all have to be prefaced with this.
Yeah.
God damn, this is a really, really good game.
Yeah, across the board, people have been really like the reviews, and obviously you see from the numbers, people are very much enjoying this game.
This is a $30 game that is rock solid, and you will get hundreds of hours out of.
Yeah.
Rare as hell in this day and age.
Yeah, it's also not their first game as a team.
No.
They've made other games. They made Craftopia. Everyone knows about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they made Over Dungeon, which is like a card game.
Yes,
and
I was
they also
unaware of
made
this one until today.
Yeah, and they also made Art Imposter, which is an AI, generative AI game, basically.
Yeah.
There is another game that I literally just found. I don't know if they are working on it or if this is like a game that they have previously. Evergrave?
Yeah. It's supposed to be a Hollow
Which is
Knight-esque.
it's an unabashed Hollow Knight rip, and it looks really good. Something I've seen with the company, and we'll talk about this in a bit, is that they understand what's popular, and that is what they will be attacking in their next outing every time.
Yeah.
They have a keen eye for what people have been enjoying.
Yeah. Yeah, like
So
we have.
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. All I was going to ask was, so now besides you had a good time with the game, so what do you do in the game? You said it was like a survival. How do you start off? Is it single player? Is it multiplayer?
You can do single player. You can do on your own. Or you can do multiplayer. For the Steam version specifically, you can have dedicated servers, up to 32 people.
Okay.
And there's a bit of a a thing with Palworld. If you play it on Xbox Game Pass or just like the Xbox version in general or whatever, it is 2 versions behind the Steam version.
I thought this was like a gimped demo, but no, it's just out of date.
Yeah. And that's it's because I think what Seaver had said, Microsoft has they have longer processes on accepting stuff. Unlike
Consoles.
Steam.
This is something that I ran into, and I'm only super knowledgeable about because, funny enough, Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
So the issue with running something on PC and on a console at the same time is that you can update a PC, to my knowledge, whenever the hell you want.
Yeah.
The problem then becomes there's a whole bureaucratic system for doing any of that on consoles. It takes 2 weeks at minimum to get them approved. So if there's any if there's a queue, if anything falls behind, it's no surprise to see the consoles absolutely lag behind the PC ports if they're not purposefully kept to the same revision. Overwatch had that issue because everyone had to be playing on the same version, right? So instead of seeing quick bug fixes, we would have to wait 2 weeks to see the next big thing. Whereas here, what's the name of the company? Something Pair?
Pocket Pair.
Pocket Pair. Pocket Pair understands that's an issue and has decided, no, the PC version will just get updated as we do it, and the console version will have to catch up whenever we're allowed to, whenever it goes through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which has it led to a lot of misinformation and confusion, understandable confusion at the start, where a lot of people were like, "Oh, so it's a demo. It's not like the actual full thing. It doesn't have all of the features."
Mm-hmm.
When in fact, like Aqua said, it's just 2-3 revisions behind.
Yeah, so it's missing stuff like you can't do dedicated servers on the Xbox version. There's no quit game button on the Xbox version. You have to Alt F4 out of the game.
Yeah, that was weird. I say as I'm dying. That was a very strange thing to happen.
So signs that you can make in the game, you can't write on them. You can't name your character, and you can't rename your pals. In the Xbox version, all that stuff you can do on, the Steam version. That being said, there is no filter on the names, so you can put in anything you want.
That's gonna be short lived.
Be aware for people. I think on official servers, there probably is like rules and like actual like filters and stuff like that. Like, so if you see it, you'll get like banned or something like that. But like on people's like private servers or like in their own game, they can do that. So if you're streaming this game, make sure you don't do that, because that's not cool. So yeah. The Xbox version is like two versions behind. There's a lot of stuff in there. I think it runs worse as well. I don't think it has the same. I think it doesn't have the same optimization as the Steam version or whatever, because I've gotten multiple crashes on the Xbox version, and I haven't had a single crash on the Steam version.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, fair enough.
I don't think it it's as optimized. Well, I think it actually uses more power than it should. Because this game actually isn't it's not graphic intensive. You don't need a super high graphics card to use it. You don't need a super high CPU. That is, on the other hand, it is not a requirement, but it is recommended to have 32 gigs of RAM.
I don't know that I wouldn't call this intensive. The draw distance is fucking massive. So you're loading, like in Minecraft speak, you're loading a lot of chunks.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It doesn't.
But you get to change all that.
All right. Well, I was just rocking with whatever the normal was.
Yeah, I think you can change the draw distance to be in a little closer. And obviously you can counteract some of that with lowering how many pals you see on your screen and all that stuff. The Steam version actually has, like, I think a list of things that you can optimize. While I don't think the Xbox version does. That's just what happens when you're literally two versions behind. Because a lot of updates can happen in that time, or like a lot of stuff can be added in that time. Anyway, you start off, all right. You're by yourself. You get waken up by three of the most basic pals in the game. And you're just alone. You have nothing on you, and you go to the first teleport point and you start. You have a tutorial or whatever. There's like a little like tutorial thing in your corner. It just says, "Hey, you should do this, or you can do this, or whatever." But basically, you start off. You walk up to a tree and you start punching it to get wood. You get wood.
I was about
to
say,
crafting
if
bench.
you've ever played a survival game, Minecraft, Ark, any of them, you know the drill. You arrive in a place naked. All weapons and items and armor are procured on site.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, a bit of Metal Gear snuck in there.
So you just go in, you punch a tree, make a crafting bench, you make a club, beat up pals, catch them. You get once you level up, you can get the recipe to make pal spheres or whatever, and you use those pal spheres to catch pals. And then you start creating your base, and you use your pals to help you maintain your base. And that's pretty much the gameplay rotation. I think there's 50 levels you can go through. Your character has 50 levels that you can go through. And I don't know where the base maxes out at. I think the base might max out at 30. I'm not 100% sure. And then after you hit certain like milestones, you can start creating like more bases, and if you've played a survival game, then it's business as usual.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd rather not get hung up on the details. If you have played a survival game ever, this is more of a survival game than it has anything to do with Pokemon. The Pokemon are just NPCs that you can procure. to either work with you on base or work with you in the field.
Yep, pretty much. They actually, like, they feel important, but they also don't feel important at the same time.
Yes.
They're important to the fact that they're the fastest way to level up is to go around catching pals. But outside of that, like, it's like you could take out the pals in this game, and it would just be, honestly, it would probably be better arc. Because it just feels better. In my opinion. Any more questions? Leak? You want to like move us towards anything?
Yeah, that's it. I think. Yeah.
Okay. So this game is obviously a complete and utter blatant ripoff of at least an aspect of this game is a complete and utter ripoff of Pokemon. It is unabashedly a ripoff. Any person with a brain can look at it and see that is definitely a Pokemon. All right.
Yeah. So we're talking about specifically not the gameplay, because we've already established this is a satire, and there are other games that are similar, like Temtem, right? Who basically is Pokemon gameplay loop.
There's no shortage of them. Cassette Beasts, Temtem, SMT, which, as far as I'm concerned, is actually the OG. So I'm saying, just saying.
Yeah,
like collectors. The collectors are not where the issue lies. Plenty of them.
Yeah. So the specific controversy about this game is people are noticing very big similarities between some of the like Pokemon and pals, and people have been looking into it. There's also been some worries about AI, generative AI, especially because the devs themselves have been attached to things related to that. But we'll go into this. I'll continue. Sorry.
So specifically what we mean is the design of the pals. For better or worse, definitely look like, I guess mashups of actual Pokemon. Because one doesn't specifically actually look like another Pokemon, but you can tell that there are very specific traits of certain Pokemon in these pals or whatever. And that has led to a fracture in this in the gaming community, period. Because a lot of people are thinking that or probably rightfully thinking that the devs definitely stole from Pokemon. Like almost like a 95%, they most likely did. Now, I'm trying to think here. Because I'm kind of on the side of they most likely did, but there's no like full on proof that they did, and it's very hard to actually gain that without actually like a full on investigation into it. So I don't exactly know where to actually go on this one.
The way I look at it is, look, legally speaking, we can't say anything. But legally speaking, we're three idiots that play video games. We don't have to legally say anything. Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Yeah.
Something doesn't pass the squint test.
Yeah.
Looks fishy. Their past history is at play here. I have my suspicions. But I can't say for sure. But I'm not blind.
Let's see. A group of like people have went in and tried comparing the the meshes and the models of certain pals to certain Pokemon. And almost 1-to-1, if not fully 1-to-1.
I wouldn't say that. Like, they are just curiously close.
Yeah, they're very, very close, and that
They're
is
conspicuously similar.
yeah.
Yeah, so obviously they're not one for one, but there is design elements that you can't pass up as just being your own unique idea. Like there's dorsal fins and stuff like that that are exactly the same as certain
Yeah.
Pokemon. There are very specific things that people have been pointing out. And folks have been looking at the models too. There have been a few people looking at the 3D models, the meshes, the wireframes and stuff, comparing, and some of them the shapes of the models are almost 1 for 1. There are some things you can't deny, but I also found some another other people who do 3D modeling as well as a counter argument to that, saying that the meshes themselves, the vertices, the number of polygons and the layout of them, the flow isn't exactly the same. They have there are differences within the mesh themselves too. So perhaps they're not a rip off as they've been accused, but there are design elements and the shapes and so on. So certainly there's at least been an inspiration there.
To say the least, yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think I think the message you had put, or like the person that message had said, it was like, it's definitely bootleg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like your old 90s bootleg videos or whatever. It's like not there's a hint of it's not an actual copy or whatever, but it's definitely like made in the same way and realm.
Yeah.
And I've been I and a lot of other people have been throwing in our this joke around. It's like legally distinct Pokemon. All right.
So tired of hearing this joke.
Yeah, I know. It's legally distinct Pokemon, and it's just the issue with this game is that, if this was a bad game, a cash grab or something like that, there would be no issue or whatever. It'd be like,
and I think it's
it would be
important
it'd be write this game off. Yeah, it would be write this game off. This obviously this is like shit or whatever. But the problem is that this doesn't feel like a cash grab. This game runs phenomenally well for what it is.
Yeah. It is a thought out, put together game.
Yeah. And we can go into like I get like the specifics, like with the CEO, because the CEO is known to be an AI enthusiast. He definitely likes AI. Obviously that's in the fact that they made that AI, the Art Imposter game. They like using it, and so a lot of people were thinking, all right, well, if they didn't actually like copy the models 1-to-1, maybe they just took the designs, threw it into AI and generator, and and did that. He specifically came out and denied that they used AI for it. They've also apparently been getting a lot of death threats over it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't give people death threats, even if you do
Yeah.
disagree with shit they've made.
Yeah.
Don't do that. There are other ways to, say your disagreement and criticize. Right?
Yeah.
Don't threaten people's lives.
But he specifically denies it, and he calls it slander that, his art. He said we had actual artists come in and or like make the designs for all these pals and everything.
I would like to see some of that concept art, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that
would
be
well.
fun to see. Is there like an art book? I know they released the soundtrack.
No,
just
early access.
Okay.
Yeah. There might be an art book maybe when like 1.0 for the game comes out.
Yeah, It'd be nice to see
Um,
the concept art, just the way that how they've put together
Yeah.
the designs and stuff.
It's just the hilarity behind how they've explained how they have the art, how they've had the art done. In an interview on a Japanese TV show with him this week, he talked about how let me go back to this thing here. He talked about how when their company started, and we went over this, none of them really knew how to do any game development. All right, they all learned on the job. All right, and they've created the series of games that they've had over the years, like Craftopia, AI Art Imposter, um, that other game that's one, was it Under Dungeon, or Under Dungeon, or Over Dungeon,
Dungeon or
Over
something,
Dungeon,
yeah.
But they had apparently, I guess, I don't know for this game particular. I don't believe it. This game particular, they had a budget of $10,000. I don't believe that in an instant. But I think that might have been the budget for their studio when they first started, which was $10,000. So, none of them knew how to develop a game. The models and the guns and stuff for the game, he specifically said they got a kid from a convenience store that they went
so
to.
just to clarify, we got the translation of this TV show from a Discord basically post.
This is not an official translation.
I suspect, because I live in Japan and I've never seen a middle school kid in a convenience store working, that's a mistranslation.
Because Japan has a specific law against like people in school like having part-time jobs.
You cannot really hold a part-time job as a school student. High schoolers do anyway, and especially when they're in college. So I'm assuming it's that age range at least, not middle school, which is like 12 to 15-year-old. No.
I'm confused why he would even bring this up in reference to like these particular assets.
They probably got asked if they how.
It doesn't matter. No one made these guns. All of those were bought from an asset store.
Yeah,
which is fine. They just licensed them out like that. There's nothing negative, but they just bought them. That's fine. Like the only things that look to be created are maybe the characters, which I would buy because they're very similar in design to the idea of the Craftopia stuff. And the Mons, they did not hand make these guns, these weapons, any of that. That's all assets. From
yeah.
So they picked up most likely a high school or college kid that was working part-time at a convenience store to make their models for the game. They were originally using Unity, but found that to be super laggy. And then under the advice of a senior dev at the studio, they swapped to Unreal. None of them knew how to use Unreal, so that one senior dev had to teach everybody in the studio to use it. The hilarity of this next part is that the decision to make the game Pokemon with guns, all right, was because they were worried that the game would not be a global success unless they added in guns because Americans like to shoot things. Which is fair.
That's a wild thing to say. Because don't get me wrong,
I visited the South. I visited Oklahoma and shit. Yeah, no, that's open carry. You love guns down there.
Like guns are big in America, but it's weird to call out America for guns in a video game because I think first-person shooters are the most popular games, full stop. And honestly, that's carried mostly by China at this point.
Yeah, I think they're looking at game markets rather than specifically other countries. So they're the biggest gaming market is America, right? Besides
I think
Asia.
This guy's just a fucking funny guy and was telling a really good joke, honestly.
Yeah, that could be also the case.
I think dude just has a sense of humor is what I think that was.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. He's just joking around. That's fine.
Because admittedly, America like guns. Yeah, fair. Good job. Fair enough. I got nothing.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll give them credit. Like starting a game studio and actually making a game is hard, and lots of people want to do this. Not everybody actually gets to finish something.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, so starting small, working their way up. Good on you.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
the controversies is a shame. So I hope they prove themselves not to the claims against them. I hope they work this out. If they did do some shady stuff, own up to it. Okay, that's all you need to do. Because as we discovered, we doubt Nintendo can actually do anything.
Yeah,
they haven't
they'd
yet.
have done it by now.
Yeah.
They don't.
Funny enough, second reason to believe that Nintendo would absolutely have done something by now. A modder put in Ash into not Craftopia, into Palworld, immediately jumped on by the Nintendo ninjas.
Yeah.
Promptly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they jumped on the modder way before they jumped on Pocket Pair,
The
right?
game, clearly they can't do anything
or the
about
game.
They were waiting. They were waiting for something.
They knew someone was going to do it.
Gnashing their teeth. I could hear them from here.
That actually tells me that they probably had their legal ninjas look into everything.
100%.
Because I don't doubt that they tried contacting Pocket Pair after like the first two trailers for this game. I don't doubt that they tried doing it.
We didn't hear about this game for a long time in between, like initial reveal and then the actual trailer. I would be willing to bet there was a lawsuit. I'd be willing to bet there was a lawsuit. And
or at least an investigation.
And it got shot down. Yeah.
Or maybe an investigation rather.
Yeah, an investigation.
Like this was definitely looked into. Nintendo definitely wanted this to not happen, and they learned they could do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sucks for them because this thing. I mean, what doesn't suck for them? Because they're Nintendo. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want. They're gonna make money.
Yeah.
They're gonna make money. All right.
At the end of the day, like, look, we make a lot of jokes about this. At the end of the day, Palworld isn't gonna outsell any Pokemon game. Pokemon is still the most valuable IP in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has brought up a lot of disgruntled feelings about Pokemon, though.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments.
Go on.
Oh no. You can continue.
I would devoutly like to see Game Freak and the Pokemon Company look at this and go, okay, we are not doing Pokemon with guns, but what if we also made a non-linear, non-RPG game featuring Pokemon that did more than just cockfight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we did more than that? Because clearly there's an audience for that. And what if, for just once, we pretended like our core audience wasn't 10 years old? Because I'd be willing to bet the majority of their audience is over the age of 20.
All right. So they may have got so Pocket Pair may have gotten like the half of the Pokemon fans or whatever that can play this game or whatever. I think the other big instance is the parents that buy Pokemon for their children or whatever that they could not do for this game because it's not on the Switch. Whatever, it's specifically Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
Whatever. So
Sure.
I bet if this game was on the I bet if this game was marketed like it was. Yeah, I bet if this game was marketed as a kids game or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll probably have done close to the number to at least the first week of numbers of Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Maybe. I actually don't know that I agree.
I'm not sure they'd be allowed to release on the Switch and stuff.
No, Nintendo would have barred this 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But even look, let's say they could. I still don't think this actually gets that close to Pokemon. Because I think this just happens to be a bunch of people that wanted a more adult in theme Pokemon picking it up. I don't think this not being child friendly is what's causing this not to outsell Pokemon. I think Pokemon just has that kind of a draw.
I think it's just I think it's just people who are disgruntled about Arceus, the promise of that, and then going back to Scarlet and Violet. So I think that's what it was.
I guarantee you, if the Pokemon Company puts out a survival game, or hell, just a game like Colosseum, let's not even get ridiculous and have them make a meaningful step forward. Let's go back to something that works. If they just put out a game like Colosseum, a lot of people would be so happy because it wouldn't be the same thing for the 9th generation in a row.
Yep.
What was it I said like a week or two ago about video game companies easily being able to make money if they just did what their player base wanted?
I got nothing for you. That's just it's accurate. Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get. It doesn't need this is what baffles me. It doesn't need to be like the main thing you do. Just every now and again, as a spin-off, throw us a bone. Okay, I can't say I've been playing Pokemon all this time, because I took a big old break in between Gen 2 and Sword and Shield, but if you would just acknowledge that your audience has grown up and occasionally throw them a bone, you'd be getting all the money from them too, and they'd probably say nicer things about your mainline and not fucking try to hang you with it every single chance they get.
Yeah. So the game's numbers at the moment, all right?
Insane. Incredible.
I'm on the all-time peak for Steam charts right now. At the moment of this recording, all right, Palworld is sitting at 1.2 million playing at this current time. All right, 1.2 million are currently playing. They had an all-time peak yesterday of 1.8 million. They beat Counter-Strike 2, Lost Ark, Dota 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Elden Ring, New World, Hogwarts Legacy, and Baldur's Gate 3. Those are games like within the past 2 years that have hit like a super high all-time peaks or whatever. The only game that hasn't beat yet is PUBG. I don't think it'll ever beat PUBG. PUBG's sitting at 3.2 million.
How is that the highest game? That piece of garbage. Ugh.
Actually, PUBG was amazing. Actually,
PUBG was hot fucking garbage that was immediately opened up to cheating, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and in the beginning, it was great until the cheaters.
I still don't think that
it hit the 3.2.
I think they were there the whole time.
I played a lot of PUBG. It was actually a very good BR. I actually find like beginning of PUBG I think was actually better than Fortnite, like current Fortnite that I've played. It's just that game's coding is bad. That game has had a massive cheating problem for the past like however many years it's been out. Cheaters weren't an issue right off the bat, so and that's where the 3.2 million come from. As in the beginning of PUBG. Sure. But I don't ever see Palworld beating it. I think Palworld will just sit at number 2 for.
Look, at this point, I don't know what does beat that.
Yeah,
because PUBG is so far ahead of its nearest competitor. Which is not Palworld. It's practically double.
Yeah, it is practically double. Yeah, I think I don't think it'll sit at 2 for a super long time. Counter-Strike 2 could possibly get a resurgence and beat it. It's not sitting super far above Counter-Strike 2. It's like maybe 50k, less than 50k.
I'd be surprised. I think if Counter-Strike 2 didn't like do higher numbers at launch, I don't know what they do to get those kind of numbers again.
I don't even think Counter-Strike 2. I don't even think the 1.8 million is Counter-Strike 2 numbers. I think it's actually CS:GO numbers, because Valve just mashed CS:GO into Counter-Strike 2.
That's true.
So,
that is in fact true.
Yeah, so I don't even think that that's Counter-Strike 2 numbers. But yeah, that's where Palworld sits at. I don't know what else we could talk about when it comes to this game. So my verdict is the CEO this studio probably did something scummy. But they made a good game, and I can't fault them for that. I actually think the CEO is kind of based in some of his answers that he gave out, because he's a funny guy. But until we actually get word of them actually stealing something, I think this game is like going to be probably the best game to come out this year, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, I am personally very sure that he's an absolute liar, and that a lot of
I agree.
things.
I agree.
Yeah, that a lot of questionable things were absolutely done on this. But
yeah.
to everyone's credit, I can't prove that. And at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm mostly just frustrated that they won't own up to it, but they can't for legal reasons. The game they made is stunningly good in that it runs. Like, for all of the issues that have been brought up to me about crashing and corruption, it's been so rock solid, frame rate wise, gameplay wise, stability wise, and the things that I can do in game are exceptionally compelling. I haven't had a lot of time in it, but my first go at it, I started at like 11, and I blinked and suddenly it was 5 a.m.
Oh God.
Yeah, it is that type of game.
Wow.
It's actually great. I have worries. I have worries that aren't even really so much about Palworld.
This is what I felt with Dark and Darker. You know my pain now.
Exactly. Like it's not about this game. And
Yeah.
I don't
It's not the game, it's about the integrity.
I think I said exactly. I have nothing against the game. I'm gonna play it, and I'll feel a little guilty at times, but that'll go away 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
My issue is, as it has always been, I worry about precedents set. I worry about what the ramifications of what Palworld may or may not have done will have on the gaming industry going forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because people now understand that they can push that line pretty far, and so long as they lie and keep to their story, maybe they don't get punished. And we've talked about AI in the past before, and I want to clarify on a couple of things, because it's real easy when talking about this particular issue to get so defensive and hung up on the details you forget what the actual point is. I have no issue with AI. AI is such a great tool that would make so many lives easier. My issue comes with theft. If you use generative AI to make things in your game, that is fine if you license out the artwork you feed into it.
Yes.
So long as the artists get paid, absolutely use it. I don't have an issue with it. Like, at all. The moral issue comes with, are you taking away someone's job? And if they're getting paid for their work that you put into it, you're not taking away anyone's job. You're not. They got paid. It's like licensing out anything else. That's it. That's all my worries revolve around.
Yep.
And I have to harp on this, despite not being a traditional artist, because A, it's the right thing to do, and B, is also impacted by this. I need these laws to be set in stone.
Yeah, it's not just artists, it's every media.
Yeah, because sound comes next. Yeah, sound comes next, and words have already been kind of fucked.
Yeah.
So That's it. I just wanted to be very clear on that because I come down really hard on this guy. But honestly, he is kind of based. He feels like just a dude.
It's just a dude.
Yeah.
So that's
I
what my
was
feelings
talking.
are.
I was talking to my coworker yesterday about Palworld, and he's like he's like, I embrace the AI overlords like coming or whatever. I'm like, okay. I understand AI is definitely an inevitability in this future.
100%. 100%.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But the thing is, there has to be a pushback. All right? You can't just let it run rampant and let it take over. You have to push back because there needs to be something set in place to give security to the people that AI is going to affect first or whatever.
Yes.
Exactly.
There needs to be regulations. You can't just like let something like run loose like this. Like I understand, like companies are going to take AI and they're going to do the most shit thing with it or whatever. There needs to be a extreme pushback against that, so there is laws and regulations put into place with it.
Yeah,
right,
and frankly,
it's going to happen.
Frankly, people who don't have strong feelings about AI should want this anyway. Otherwise, artists are going to stop making art, and you're going to end up with like 6 of the same models everywhere, just like we are now.
Mm-hmm. And that can't do hands.
Well,
or
unfortunately, we're beyond hands now.
Yeah.
There are other little things, but they're getting better. Remember, as Philip DeFranco says, this technology is the worst it'll ever be right now. It's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And I like also like on a I guess a plus is that maybe this will push Nintendo Game Freak to do something more interesting.
I do not hold my breath, but God, it would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I hope you're right. I wish you were right. I just have zero faith in the best, like the most profitable IP making any changes.
Yeah,
trying to wish for the good.
Oh
but
man, but I'd love.
But you see, that's okay. But that's okay. You want to know why? So we already got Palworld.
Hey.
we already have Palworld. All right. We don't need them to do it. It would be nice or whatever, because then there might not be any like questionable stuff behind it that isn't already questionable stuff behind Nintendo anyway.
Sure, but then I mean, but even simpler than that. Then people would be able to just play with their favorite mods. Like, then your Eevee or your Evolution or whatever, then you could use that instead of using the Cremie or whatever it's called in Palworld. You could use your Charizard instead of whatever the Palworld variant is. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
They should steal back, but
I'm not gonna lie. All right. I actually kind of think some of like a lot of the pals in Palworld are actually better looking than a lot of Pokemon.
Oh yeah, for sure. because they have kind of like more wild design. They've been very like the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have been very reserved in their designs. As though Tinkaton was based, I fucking loved it.
Remember that trash bag Pokemon? That trash bag
Garbodor?
Pokemon?
Yeah. Actual trash.
No,
like
Trubbish.
Trubbish.
Here's the latest Pokemon. Is it literally a key?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, no. My favorite. Pidove, which is actually just a pigeon. Nothing changed. It's just a pigeon.
Actually, so have you seen a Blaze Howl Noct, Dalit?
No.
It's literally just a Lunastra.
Oh, really?
Yo, let's go.
Instead of a fur mane, the fur mane is just fire, just blue fire.
Oh.
Let's go.
It's badass.
We've got a frontier monster in Palworld.
It looks so cool. Actually, you know what? I think the fire pal designs in Palworld are actually some of the most base looking designs in that game.
Yeah.
I think they look sick. But yeah. do we have anything else that we would like to talk about on Palworld?
No, I got it off my chest.
Oh.
It's good. It's $30. I can't argue with that. It's super rock solid.
Yeah, it's also priced at a
like I can't not say
reasonable
that.
price.
It's $30, and there's no microtransactions yet. Big emphasis on that yet, but it launched with no foundation for microtransactions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said my piece on it. I mean, I'm just gonna go back and play fucking Palworld anyway. So I mean, just gonna hop out, and I think Psycho's literally playing all night. So.
Oh my god.
Can work in the morning.
Yeah, he literally we had Seaver reset the server so Psycho could play all night. So.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing Palworld up until Grand Blue Fantasy Relink comes out, I guess. And then I'll be doing nothing but playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink for like a month straight. So that's me.
I'm going to be working, which sucks because I won't let myself touch Palworld if I have to get work done, because then the work won't get done. Tekken drops technically tomorrow for me, I think.
Oh yeah, it does.
Tomorrow evening. So unless it's the day after, whatever, it drops soon. That's gonna be.
It drops on the 26th, but it might be like 20.
It'll be the 25th for me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have that soon. I will be playing Palworld. It's like that. And then Relink will happen, and I will have to balance 3 games, and I will fail to do that.
No balance, only Relink.
Yeah, only exactly, and I will fail to do that. So this backlog somehow got larger before I got any of these games.
Hey, at least there's no real ending. There's no real ending to the Palworld. All right, so
true. Well, as far as I'm aware, I haven't even interfaced with the story they keep hinting at.
There's the story.
Look, there's dungeons, and there are actual other people with Pokemon, pals.
Yeah. I have fought a boss.
Yeah, I assume there's some.
I have fought one of those power bosses. Yeah.
That's one more than me. I didn't even know that there were people in that tower until yesterday. I think Matthew said something. It was like, "Oh yeah. They mentioned that, like literally when you load in."
They have a lot.
One of the things on the intro, it's like, seek the towers or something.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you gonna get up to this week, eh?
I'm going to return to the world of Los Santos.
Let's go. She says she's not a villain, but what she meant to say, she's not a villain yet.
Oh no! I'm actually gonna. Sorry. Voice, please. I think my character's gonna doing cryptid hunting stuff.
Oh, fantastic! Find Sasquatch. He's out there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do some monster hunts in Monster Hunter World.
Nice.
Yes, I'll be enjoying that. Trying to upgrade, get the pots. And I hope to do some more Final Fantasy 14 because I still need to get through the story patch because they just released a new patch. So
I have faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm holding off on that for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what happens in it, so I'm holding off on a little bit on it.
Okay.
Well, if we're done here, make sure, listeners, if you made it this far, to like and subscribe. We very much appreciate it, and give us a comment. Or one of those 3. Do one of those 3, please. But yeah, that's gonna end it for us this week. And I might see you guys next week if I could pull myself away from Relink. I have like 9 days off. I have 9 days off.
Wow.
I have 9 days off, and Relink comes out technically on the 31st, which is a Wednesday, but technically on the 30th.
To be fair, it technically comes out
Yeah.
on the 28th.
You know what? I haven't pre-ordered it on PlayStation yet. I did cancel my collector's edition of Relink because it's $160. I do not need a statue of Bahamut.
A Bahamut?
Right.
I've never liked Grand Blue Bahamut, so I don't blame you.
Yeah. Shell was telling me about that. I do not need a statue of him or whatever. It's like $160, 70 something dollars or whatever. I'm buying you a copy. I'm buying myself a copy. I need a PS3 copy or whatever. I'm at least going to save $60. All
yeah,
right.
that's the right call. That's the right call.
So I'll pre-order it on PlayStation maybe and play the early access, but I could just possibly wait until the PC version comes out. Still can't buy the PC version. Am I strong? I don't know, man. I don't know if I am. But I will figure it out in the next couple of days if I'm strong enough or not. Considering it's 4 days from now for the early access. So yeah, we will see you guys next week. And yeah. Bye.
Goodbye.
Be good now. Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked it out. It's definitely